transformational molecular structure change, right? Because there's a new filament coding we have to align with, and it's for crystalline. We're going from carbon to crystalline grid, right? So how do you make a diamond from carbon? Immense pressure. And that diamond sends out the rainbow rays, yes? So that's what's happening here. Divine masculine. I keep hearing setting the stage, right? So this was all a setup. This setback was a setup for a comeback. But you're different. It's like transformational. It's like Superman, but with extra power. So we're in the crystalline energy. That's a higher, finer vibration. This is where you can access your telepathy, right? Going into your second sight, right? Once your third eye awakens or opens, but you realize that you're actually in an assimilation. God just showed me we used to play pinball machines, but you know, you also had, it's like you're in a game. Space Invaders, remember Space Invaders? Space Invaders. Divine masculine. This is going to take every ounce of energy you've got, and as soon as you do this, you've changed forever. You've outgrown something. We have the crystal angels here, so we're going to get a message for divine feminine on the left, divine masculine on the right, and the shared energy just to get into this reading. Got to get the right audience. We don't want any envious people. No spirits of envy or jealousy allowed on this channel in Jesus' name. So this is it. This is the heart chakra awakening. Everything changes. Everything's different. See, life-changing epiphany. The sword of truth. Now you're in reality. To get into actuality, which is the middle of the sword. It's very exciting. It's an energy frequency. You know, most humans think one way, feel another, and act another. So we're trying to unify that in your individualization. So this is your initiation. It was already always timed that way, God's out. Self-confidence through God confidence. Right, so it's the Father here. This is where you connect your third eye. The Sun is your solar plexus. We are solar powered, remember. Right, the Sun gets through the retina in your eye and your crown chakra. So why would you wear sunglasses to block out the light? They're going to bring in medicine as light, right? And you can actually get injections of light. So we just sit with no hat, no sunnies, and get the light. Look, this is your pillar of light. This is about getting that big, deep breath and this is guts, confidence. God's going to help you do it. So the Sun here is in your solar plexus. That's your power center. That is illuminating. It's an illumination here. So cool. This is my favorite crystal in the whole world. And this is for divine feminine. Watermelon tourmaline. That is the actual twin flame crystal. And I have one, a raw one. And you have the green and the pink, right? Because when your heart chakra heals, it goes to fuchsia pink. And this is what we're aiming for. De-stress your mind and body. Have rest and recharge. So review what you're doing. This is a time out, right, for divine feminine. This is talking about today, and this is divine masculine, sensitive energies coming to the surface. Because when it's love, it's different. Everything, nothing else matters. Do you know what I mean? So this is the twins being multi-dimensional. And what does that say? Titanium rainbow quartz. We're in the rainbow flame, they showed me just before I came on. So we're going to do some art with the rainbow flame. But this is multifaceted. So what does that mean? Right? There's many layers. I know. There's many layers and facets, you know. It's like the layers of the onion. We're going multidimensional. Reduce stress, divine feminine, divine masculine's in his feelings and sensitive, highly sensitive. And so multidimensional. What does that mean? What does that mean to you? Write it in the comments. Hit the like and subscribe if you're here. Otherwise, maybe this channel's not for you. It's not for everybody. Right, we got this in the last one. So we know it's already resolved. Whatever situation you're in, divine masculine is already resolved. It's already healed. So this is a vibrational match. You must sit in that, and then the whole of the universe will align to that. Whatever you're sitting on in, the universe will align to. That's the secret. Yeah? They don't tell you the secret when you read The Secret, though. It goes around in a loop. But the secret is whatever you're thinking about manifests. Now, you had to learn 3 lessons in a row, right? And that was about self-worth, about spirituality, knowing who is for you and who's against you, and then standing in your own truth. So that has changed things immensely, right? And it happens really quickly. So Archangel Michael, message for the twins, divine feminine and divine masculine. On the right, welcome. Yeah, it's about self-respect. No longer am I anybody's supply, right? This is the sound of the universe. If the sound of the universe had a symbol, what would it look like? So this is knowing who you are, and the enemy's trying to keep you down, you know, your whole life, divine masculine. You can't do that. Bullies at school, right? So whatever you experienced, that's what you've taken into your holographic image, and you will be projecting that out. But see, I said the cataclysmic wave comes back and it smashes it. So it's like, that goes into the reality. Yeah, reality check. Oh, look, romance in the air. A gesture. A romantic gesture. You brought feelings out in him, divine feminine. Oh, a favourable outcome. What's divine masculine's card in the shared energy? Eternal love. Wow. Ooh la la. So somebody had to leave something unhealthy, disempowering. Can't go with you. And God's helping you, saying, I've got legions of angels. Just ask. Pray. Pray believing that you've already received it and you shall have it. It's like, sounds so simple, but it's not easy. Right? But this is divine feminine. She's in romance energy. She's done romance Reiki, Trinity to infinity. And she's ready. And here are the scales balancing in your own life, divine masculine. Right? This is about an exit strategy, exit stage left. And this is the opening of the heart chakra. And I know it sounds cliche and it sounds like, but until you experience it, right? You don't know what you're missing out on until you experience it. There's lots of things like that. You know, like I got out of the matrix, I didn't know it was real until I was out of it. Okay, so whatever you're in right now, this message is to say it's an illusion. Right? Don't worry about it out there. Open up your heart. This is an irresistible light. That's your divine feminine look. Divine masculine, divine feminine. So it may look really catastrophic at the moment. It's like really, really bad. You know, it's the love story movie and it's 10 minutes before it finishes. That's when you're like, how are they going to get together? Oh, no. And something happens, right? And 10 minutes later, you're like, oh, that was so good. We're in the 10 minutes. So divine masculine is concentrating. There's a message here for divine feminine. Right. To be calm. It's like if you were to see, you know, the ships coming in. There's a big QE2 liner. And it's coming in between the heads, right? And it's going to anchor. It has to anchor, but it's got to dock. So it's got to swing there. This is divine masculine. He's about to dock because he's done his maiden voyage, right? He's about to come into landing. Now, Divine Feminine, you might be excited to come down the, the gangway. And then bam, it goes into something. This is a very crucial moment for you to stand back and allow him to still come to you. Does that make sense? Because he's actually parking or anchoring, as I call it. If you were to see a big ocean liner turning around, how does it turn around? One nudge at a time. Right? So this has been a lot of nudges for this Divine Masculine to turn around. There's been a lot, Divine Masculine. You haven't just done it in one swing, right? But you're coming into dock, and that's why it's hocus pocus focus. And everything that comes up against you, that will sway you more into your alignment. Because now you'll notice when you say something and somebody else regurgitates somebody else's opinion back to you, you're like, they're just regurgitating opinions back to me. They didn't even hear what I said and do not have my own best interests at their heart. They don't have, like, I got to get my own best interests at heart here. We're in a portal, by the way. We're in a good portal that's opened up, memory keys, and we are creating a new Lemuria. So that's bringing technologies. We need you hocus pocus focus. We need your, need you in silence to receive at the moment, Divine Masculine. Because what you're about to, this frequency's anchoring, and you're about to put this into action. Let's have a look. Somebody's knocking. Hammering something. Yeah. Something goes in your favour, like the spin of a dime, because you went there. Well done. This is where you are. You're facing it. That's what you get the reward for, facing the fear. The fear disappears. This is going from delusion into reality. This is being a spiritual ninja. Hurry up! Right, black belt spiritually. Because look, this is your Divine Feminine. She's in the oasis. She's a tree planted by a river. Evergreen, Father said, with fruit. Aww. That's the solar plexus lifting up. This is caring less. This is Divine Feminine shining. Let it shine, let it shine. Divine Masculine letting go, detaching. The old cloak, like an old worn out grandpa jacket. You just, that's the past. You're going to drop it and let it go. And you're free. Oh my gosh, how exciting. And then dedicated effort together. Look, working on a masterpiece together. It's a masterpiece. This is so beautiful. And look, there's a number 11. So got 19, which is 1 really, isn't it? 11. And then infinity. Something's happening today. Right? So just, you have to let it go. See the contrast here of your life here, the old grey jacket, and this is your Divine Feminine. I mean, it's unmistakable. And that's why. It's the pull of the feminine energy. Do you know what I mean? Like the tide and the moon. It's irresistible. And your time to step into your mission. You're going to be doing different things, Divine Masculine, than you've ever done before. The abundance angels are here. I love it. Can you stop it? I'm going to put that on the community tab. You have to do it. I don't want to see this again. We've got to sever those vows in Jesus' mighty name. We did that last one. Anything else? I will. I'll put it on the community tab. And then your savings replenish. So pay yourself first. And for Divine Masculine, letting go of guilt. It's time. It's like an old worn out jacket. And you go, no, you can't do that leverage over me. I don't believe in your stupid false beliefs about whatever. I believe in my heart and Jesus Christ. And that's it. So, and also about children, leverage, money, guilt. Why? Because you're leaving, then you can't, like, nah, you got to fight. Right? So the angels are helping you fight. Because you faced your financial fears. This is relying on God and letting go of guilt. So divine masculine, let's have a look. We'll do a love snapshot here, right? Because all this is a catalyst for union, for your heart to open. So it has to get stinky, rotten, bad, yuck. How bad did it have to get for you to go, oh? It's like that old favourite coat that you wear forever. And people are like, that's actually stinks now. But it's my old favourite. I saw a gentleman in the park one day. Tell you about that story. Whoa. Anyway, I was like, what are you wearing? He said, this was my grandfather's jumper. I said, you look like you're 150. I thought you were like a grandpa. Why are you wearing grandpa jacket and he had the hat on? And I was like, oh my gosh. That should just never be taken out in public. I was like, nah. Far out. The old grandpa jacket is gone. Gonski. This is Superman coming in. Superman doesn't wear the grandpa jacket. Right, so think about it in that sense. The old worn out ways, the old archaic beliefs, the old, whatever you believed, it's all like, oi, we've got a romance angel here, right? Because what is that? Oh, I thought it was going to be Fatal Attraction. Yeah, so now you can go, that's all just mirrored back to me. It's all a holographic image of self. So I am in charge of self. This is your sovereignty returning, right? And then your heart opens. Oh, love, right? Most people don't have it. Most people in their minds, the whole frequency of this earth place, right, is to keep you in your mind, out of love, right? There's a ruler of the dark kingdom, and he has access over this whole place. Jesus is the one with the keys. He's showing me, I have the keys to hell and Hades. So no one has any power over you. It's just this is the domain of the devil. We're in it. And we have to have armor up because he's going all out massive action. He doesn't have much time left. And he wants everybody to worship him. Right? Why would the karmics be so against the twin flame union? I mean, I was reflecting last night just going, oh, that was a lot of effort. You would just not believe the extent the devil will go to, right, to cause you to believe it. Like the fast, there were written paperwork. People had signed affidavits for some dumb thing. Oh my gosh. Like that's a lot of work for like something really petty. But it works when it keeps you in the mind, you know? It's disturbed you, divine masculine. It's kept you in your mind space, right? Because that's where, the devil is. And if you do that, we can't do that. It's like then there's a paradigm over a whole thing. Just like where I go for a walk, right? It's public land, right? Anyway, there's a sign that says COVID, right? And then it says camera surveillance. And I was like, just have picked it up and just put it over there. It's like, how funny. Now they can say it's because of COVID. See, there's a new whole paradigm, new jurisdiction. That's power over. Right? If you're just walking without that, this is what's happened to you. If that makes sense, like you're walking through a public land, but now you stand right, you can walk through that public land, but because they put the COVID on it, now you're under a different, it's like, oh, I'm not going to go there. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's total power went to somebody else over you. So you've had to duck under that. You've had to weave that. And you hate authority figures like that anyway. So now you've had to keep your anger down, right? And realize once you've actually can channel that anger into power and manifestation and assertiveness, because that anger now can actually get power, right? Comes up, can be actually transmuted. And now you're speaking with the power of that anger, but through love. And that's what shakes the earth. And that's what the enemy does not want you to do, right? You just think, wow, my whole family. And it's like I had a connection, I'll say. And I could see that this masculine would have to give up, right? His wife, ooh, his mother, ooh, so toxic, oh my gosh, just heartbreaking, and his job. And do you know what I mean? So it was easier to turn on me, the truth teller. It's easier Because, of course, the ego comes in and goes, who do you think you are? Telling me, you know, like a rooster through the garden. I was like, oh my gosh. So ugly and disgusting, right, that ego. And it's like, well, it's a pretty big deal, right? But that's why I was saying it, because it was a big deal. I wouldn't have said it if it didn't matter. It's like, it's epic. You have to let go of that, but it has to happen in your own way, in your own time, right? So you haven't got there by now. You've been intoxicated, or you've been like playing the field, or you've been not wanting to grow up, or you've been not wanting to look at stuff within yourself. Then bam, 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 here comes God and goes, time up. Let me show you how evil this person really is. Some of you can see through your third eye, right? Because we're multidimensional. We're going multidimensional. But some of you divine masculines can see. You get dreams about it. You get visions about it. You can actually see the reptilian shapeshifter within the person when the eyes go, right? We can see it. You can see the shape change. You're very, 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 very third eye, whatever that is, clairvoyant, right? So I'm here to tell you, you're not making it up. It's not your imagination. You'll get a clip. When somebody speaks to you, the vibration of that will activate a film, a movie, and you will see the events as they actually occurred, right? And you'll know what time frame it occurred in. Because I'm reading this for you now, so I'm in the now. So this is happening right now. You know what I mean? So that means somebody comes up to you and goes, sorry, can you forgive me? I didn't mean to steal all your money, or whatever. And you go, you get a vision of them trying to hide something, or you get a sound. You're very good with sound too. You might get a cash register closing. Do you know what I mean? Or hear a car door, or hear a phone ring. Like, be very, very aware. When people are talking to you, you'll get signs, and it will unravel, and you'll see the truth. So it's like, what's the point in talking to this person? Like, it's so mental, want of a better word, but it is on the mental plane, right? But if you get out of it, then it's actually, you'll be able to laugh at it, because it's like, oh my gosh, look how they came in. You know, like, the devil went to Jesus and said, bow down to me and I will give you all the riches of the earth. Like, I said to God, how, like, that's a psychopath. Why would he do that? Why would he even bother asking? And then God told me he had to refuse it to reverse the curse. He said no. Adam said yes. Jesus said no. So we're with Jesus. We're saying no. And that's where this is so toxic and disgusting and heartbreaking, until you feel like you don't have anything left, because that's the old you. That identity is not left. There's nothing of it. So the ego can keep you there, and it's familiar, and I don't have to change, and I can act like a teenager, right? This is my home, and I can go out and play and do whatever I want. It's like, no. That allows, that opens the doorways for Jezebels, for Jezebels. Whoa, Jezebel mother, Jezebel wife, because you replicate your mother, you know what I mean? Like, that's just a natural instinct. So now you're like, nah, that's toxicity. That's why you have to divorce your mother, because that's where it came from. If you're watching this and you've got a loving, kind, caring, beautiful mother, this is not your reading. You're probably not even divine masculine. No. See? It's so terrible and heart-wrenching. But that's when it makes you realize what you're up against, and also makes you realize who you are. You're a child of God, not those ones. Oh. And the freedom, right, that comes from it. Unreal. Look, this is the dream state. So things might be feeling a bit slow, don't know what to do, a bit stagnant. We're like in a holding zone. Got to get rid of that. Look. This is all being illuminated to you. I'm telling you, the catalyst for this change is going to be massive for you, because you weren't getting it. And we don't get it. When you're an empath and you're caring, you know, you give people the benefit of the doubt. But this is like, how big has it got to be in your face for you to get it? And then you go, oh, I got it, I got it, I got it, I'm right, I'm right. And then you start clearing. This is your galactic downloads. You'll be receiving them by sitting on the earth. Right? This is also timing. Something's being birthed within you. It's starseed activation. Right? That's why they have tried so hard to stop it. So that's why we know when the enemy fights really hard, something massive and amazing is happening in the starlight world. Yeah? That's how I know. I just work with the dark as well. Got a few planets in Scorpio, right? So that's where I work first, in the dark. And then I'm going, wow, he's real. The devil's real. He's here. Look what he does. Blah, blah, blah. Who does he hate? Let's play heart music. This is Jesus. Why does he hate Jesus so much? Well, I want to love anything he hates. That's how I found Jesus. Satan threw me into the arms of Jesus. Whoa, thank you. And then I started thanking him. And how can the negative thoughts, or how can that work for you? I kept saying thank you and show me. Because as soon as I get the dark picture, right, then I can go the other way into the light. And this is the connection. The telepathic connection doesn't stop. It's always on. It's not like it used to go in and out. Now we're getting a direct, like we're getting galactic Wi-Fi. And that's why they wanted to interrupt it with a frequency of drama, karma. Anything to distract you, like water boiling over. And then it's just one thing after the other. So you're at this, you're like, this is a peptide rush addiction. That's codependency. Our social media, right, has mastered it. So this is what you're breaking here. You're like, nah, I don't want to get peptide rush. I'm not going into the emotional hooks or the drama. Right? And you prayed, and all you can do is be pulled together. This is your divine feminine. Her energy's like outstanding. It's an eternal flame. Once it's lit, right, it's your free will choice. You've got to take the jump. You know? You only got 12,000 angels behind you, pushing you. And divine feminine, woo, with her magnetic pull, right? And then once you do it, you get a well-deserved reward. And how good will that be? And you're free and in love and in alignment. You'll never have had this feeling before in your entire life. You're just going to immediately feel better, right? You know? Not being around these toxic people. No one is better. It's better to be on your own. This is what you find out. This is your lesson. And then your wisdom, your ancient codes activate. Then your GPS download. Then your heart opens. And then you're like, she's so beautiful. How toxic was that one? Like there's now something to compare it to. Do you know what I mean? Squeeze me. Right? She's abundant. She's beautiful. She's a homebody. Right? She likes to make natural tinctures. She likes to have some herbs and grow a little garden, right? She's got money coming in. She's very, very accommodating, can do first aid, can speak about many topics, the Queen of Pentacles. She's a wonderful person to spend time with and heal. And she's good with money. Let's have a look. A snapshot here for Divine Masculine. As you go through this change, right? Like remember, how toxic it was is how important that the change happens. Because it has to. So for God to get you out of something, it needs to go really toxic. That's why we say that path of least resistance. If it's really bad. I mean, how bad does it have to get? How much can a koala bear? You know? So that's up to you. And then you look back and you go, I could have cut it off here. But look, I went all that way. Then you have to forgive yourself for that. You know, there's always a time where you look back going, I was done there. But I still allowed it to, because I didn't feel like strong enough, or guilt, or, right? We don't have time for that. No guilt. You have to work on that in an instant. This is quantum healing of the rainbow spectrum. What's coming in for Divine Masculine as he makes this change, right? This is strength. Right, stronger together, better together, than apart. Right, and investing in, right, no drama, getting rid of that. That's like, wow, I wasted so much time. Right, but don't worry, you can make it up. We're in quantum healing, and quantum time. So you can't sit there thinking an oh woe is me and the whole past thing, because we're in a different energy. And love is calling you love. Oh, love. That's a gossamer thread, right? That's an elixir, an ambrosia. That heals the soul. For divine masculine, and we're looking at today. For divine masculine, right? Just one more go around.